Hey, it's me again. So, as of right now, we have changed our plans for the horses, and we are staying where they are. Well, the horses are staying where they are. The barn that they live in, can probably withstand up to maybe a category 3 wind, and it's not likely that that level of wind will come to our area because they've shifted the prediction paths and now it's more on the east coast of Florida. So we're on the west side, and as of right now, it's pretty unlikely that it's going to stay a category 3 or 4. If it makes landfall and stays on land, it will die out and get smaller and less powerful. So if it stays on the east coast and stays in the ocean, that's a little bit riskier that it might stay powerful or even gain power. But it's looking like it's going to hit South Florida, and that would be direct. And luckily I'm not in South Florida, so I know I do see a lot of people still evacuating from South Florida. Most of the barns around where my barn is are not evacuating. Some of them are. Some of them did earlier just to be safe. Now I don't have a whole lot of extra money, so I can't just go for a week and a half in case of a hurricane. They make 4 updates, the National Hurricane Center, every day. I think it's 5 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. So I'm watching that like obsessively. As of right now, it's pretty low risk of the hurricane or hurricane force winds coming to where the barn is. So we're thinking that it'll be good. We're thinking it'll turn out to be like a tropical storm in our area, which we've been through before, and is not that bad. You just make sure that all the debris is picked up, which is really hard at a barn. You know, there's spare wood, there's spare fencing panels around the jumps. We picked up I picked up some of them, and then I had to work yesterday during the day, and some guys that were there helping out picked up the rest of them and put them inside a shipping container storage unit. And so we've got most of the debris picked up. Everybody picked up extra hay in case we can't get out, in case anything's flooded. We'll have extra hay and shavings to care for the horses for a while. The barn manager is anticipating that no one's going to come out, none of the boarders. I don't know. I think it's not that bad if it's a tropical storm. A lot of us will still come out and make sure our horses are alive and not colicking. A lot of people are planning on giving electrolytes and or beet pulp or probiotics to try and help make sure that their guts are okay while they're stressed out, because it is going to be pretty stressful. And even just now, you can feel kind of a stress at the barn. Everybody's worried. We're all on edge. We're all wondering if it's going to change at the last minute, and if it does, what are we going to do? We're still keeping with the plan. We've got enough trailer spots at our barn to get all the horses out. So everybody's kind of ready if we needed to leave at the drop of a hat. And our evacuation places that we were going to go to are central state. So what that would mean is that if we evacuated the west coast and moved to the center of the state, which is east, we would actually be moving closer to where the storm might hit, where the hurricane might hit. So that's no longer the best plan. If it turns out that we do have to evacuate, we're going to have to go further north and possibly further west into the panhandle of Florida or Georgia, because going to the center of the state is no longer any better with their current predictions. So yeah, that changes things. And what else? Everybody that I know at the barn got a pet tag engraved at the pet store, and we'll be tying those into the manes tonight or tomorrow. I think I'm going to do mine tonight because I wanted to make a video on it to show other people how I do it. You want it to be sturdy, and this is in case of worst case scenario. Let's say worst case scenario would be the barn suddenly gets hit. Odin, stop. He sees my kitty outside and he really wants her. So worst case scenario, the barn gets hit with some gust of wind and horses get out, and then fences break, and now they're just wandering around the city. That would be the way that you know whose horse is whose. Better option would be microchips, but that's not really something we can do last minute. So now everybody is reminded that microchips are a better bet, and probably we'll have some people getting microchips after the storm for next time. And I think it's a great idea. You know, the dogs are microchipped, so why wouldn't I microchip the horses, right? It only makes sense. If something really strange happens, you can microchip and scan the microchip and get the horses back home where they belong. Anyways, so today I'm just working at home. Odin is here, laying on the floor, well, on his bed. And yeah, nothing too exciting going on. Just watching the weather as much as possible and trying not to freak out every 5 minutes. I'm gonna go out and ride tonight, and then do the tags in the mains. I'm not gonna use any grease pen. I think if there were a catastrophe and the rains were that strong and the wind was that strong, it wouldn't stay on anyways. And I'm not gonna clip my phone number into the fur. Really, because I think it's pretty unlikely that we're gonna get hit hard, and I don't feel like clipping my phone number into my horse's sides right now. They'll have the tags, and they'll be inside the barn. The stall doors will be closed, the barn doors will be closed, the windows will be closed, and our barn has ventilation in the roof. So one of the big worries is with strong storms, strong winds, that sometimes the wind will go into the barn and it can't escape, and so it blows the roof up or loosens the roof or loosens the walls or the doors or who knows what. But having ventilation at the top of the barn is pretty helpful for that, apparently. I'm not an engineer, and I'm not an architect, and I'm not a meteorologist, so I just go off advice from native Floridians, which I am not either. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.